Hello friends, my name's James. And this is my 1965 Alberg 30 sloop, SV Tritea. I have been slowly sailing solo around the world since leaving Los Angeles in 2021. This is Rhonda, a Kiwi sailor who moved aboard full-time once I reached Sydney. Join us as we explore the east coast of Australia and see as many wild places and wild animals as possible.
Just down in here.
Oh, wow. As we make our way up to Southeast Asia. We had a very peaceful night on the hook here at Tipplers on Strandbrook Island, South Strandbrook Island. And the tide is coming up. So now it's time for us to head out and do our next leg up deeper into Moreton Bay. We have to travel with the tides because of the shoals. So it's time to get underway. Pretty chill motor today. Now we're coming up to some power lines, which is always spooky. It says they're 20 meters above the water and our mast is 12 meters high, so it's a non-issue for us, hopefully.
Non-issue. Pretty fuzzy though, I've never been under power lines.
Pretty spooky.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty mellow day today. We stopped by, what was the name of that marina? Empire or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Empire Marina, and got fuel, got water, met up with some friends, had coffee, and then we were racing the tide, so we couldn't linger very long. But our friend Brody has his boat there, and but we're gonna see him again in Brisbane. So yeah, and then we met Lloyd, I believe is his name. Super nice dude. He just bought a boat. He sailed in Japan a lot, and he's thinking about heading back to Japan with his new boat. So we had a nice visit and very, very nice time. Now we're getting ready to go into these power lines, and it says we are 1.7 nautical miles from our anchorage for the night. Good.
Browns Bay.
Browns Bay.
That is where we're heading, which is pretty crazy. It just looks like a wall of mangroves. So I think pretty remote. Hopefully there's no other boats up there. It'd be pretty cool to have it to ourselves. And it's a super, super clear afternoon, so we should be rewarded with loads of stars. So neat.
All right, we're gonna go on a little mangrove adventure. We gotta get these mangrove adventures out of our system before we get up north, and there's crocodiles everywhere. But it's safe down here, so we're gonna go have a peekaboo at what's around here. It's pretty, feels like we're anchored in the middle of nowhere. Right?
It does. Browns Bay.
Browns Bay.
Unhook us?
Yeah. So murky, I can't see.
Such pretty light.
Right? Oh, there's a mullet. A funny little... Oh, that's big, whatever that is. The mangroves made it impossible to go ashore, and the shoals made it impossible to explore the mangroves. So after a bit of motoring around and getting stuck in the mud, we headed back to Tritea to call it a day. The next morning we got up and moved again with the tides, pushing on to Peel Island. Good morning from Peel Island. We had a minimal motor sail yesterday. We finally got out of all the shoals and those dangers. It's nice to be free from having to travel with the tide times. Anchored in this very, very strange anchorage. We're surrounded by shoals so that it protects like the sea state, but we're super exposed. We're like literally, it feels like we're just anchored out in the middle of a giant bay. There's like no protection from the wind, but there was not much wind last night. A little bit of rain this morning, but I'm not vibing this like ultra non-protected zone. And we have some weather coming in the next couple days. We didn't even go ashore. I guess you can't even explore this island without a guide, like a tour guide. And we couldn't anchor on the other side, which is called Horseshoe Bay. That's like, there's a wreck over there and good snorkeling. We couldn't anchor over there because of the winds yesterday. So we're just gonna peace out. Sometimes we film little adventures that don't quite fit into any one episode, and there's not enough content to make their own standalone episode. This little insert is definitely one of those times. This happened in the future based on where we are in this video that we're watching now, but it was filmed at Peel Island in Horseshoe Bay, which I just mentioned, and I wanted to share it with you because it was a really amazing experience, and this is just the only place I know where to put it. So I hope you enjoy this little clip, and then we'll pop back to real time and continue on. Hello from Peel Island here in Queensland, Moreton Bay. We're gonna head over and snorkel this wreck. It's like overcast and a little rainy, but that shouldn't affect what we see underwater. So we're gonna go peekaboo at that and show you guys what we see.
Our second snorkel here in Australia found us exploring the wreck of the Platypus, a dredging vessel built in 1884. Her first assignment, opening the port of Cairns. She was involved in many tasks throughout the coast of Queensland, some of which include creating the channel at Normanton, Port Douglas, Thursday Island, Cooktown and Brisbane. After 40 years, and being that she was the oldest unit in the service, it was time for her to retire. She was stripped of all useful parts and equipment. Her last assignment was to be that of the breakwater at the eastern end of Peel Island, Moreton Bay. She was sunk on Wednesday 13th October 1926. Today there isn't a lot left of her or the jetty she once protected. Time and the elements have taken their toll. Now she is home to coral and many fish residing in what's left of her hull.
and head for the Brisbane River. We have a 13-mile passage to the mouth of the river, and then I can't remember how much further after that. I think the total distance is like 27 miles to where we're going to anchor up by Brisbane, unless we decide to anchor in the river somewhere else. We are flexible. So that's the program for today. We're stoked to be through all of the tricky bits, but we were grateful for the Intracoastal waterway to give us protection after our slow beat up New South Wales, and we're happy to be here in Queensland. you enjoy the content on this channel and would like to contribute, you can consider joining the Patreon crew. Thanks for watching. Fair winds until next time.